Alright everyone, so this is going to be part 2 of my defending Batman vs Superman, and this one is going to be about Batman. If you have not seen my first part, I uploaded it the other day. It is about the comparison of DC to Marvel, and how Marvel owns the success of cinematic releases, but then I also heavily debate Superman's arc in the story of Batman vs Superman. If you haven't seen that one, check that one out first, and then come back and watch this. Batman does not kill, isn't that right? The one rule he vowed to absolutely never break. The rule that, if broken, would turn him into the man that shot and killed his parents in front of his very eyes, all those years ago. A moment in comic history that expanded a future of storytelling for one of the most popular, if not the most popular hero to ever live. His rules to never kill is sensible. It's also what makes his stories so compelling. He utilizes the ideas of right and wrong, good or bad, heroic or evil. So why did Batman kill in Batman vs Superman? And just like this movie, why is this decision so divisive amongst the fan base? First of all, we should understand the fact that Batman can kill. He has the ability to physically and mentally kill a human in thousands of different ways. All those years he spent training to be the world's greatest assassin would have taught him a thing or two about killing. But instead of becoming the world's greatest assassin, he decided to become the world's greatest detective. With the knowledge of sciences, mathematics, languages, over 100 different types of fighting styles, and so much more in his utility belt, he chooses to use those talents for true justice. Batman takes the law into his own hands. Batman is judge and jury. So Batman already works outside of the law and out of the legitimacy of true authority. So technically Batman is a criminal himself and is technically breaking the law. What is stopping him from going a little further and ending lives so that the streets can be free of one more criminal scum? How interesting the topic of Batman's rules really are, because everything attaches to his mentality and way of thinking. There's no way you witness what he did as a child and come out with no mental scars. Your viewpoint on life and even everyday decision making will be changed forever. The biggest reason why Batman doesn't kill is because of how easy it is. And not easy based on his skill to do so, but because the minute he kills, he will never stop. He himself would become the exact type of evil he's constantly trying to stop. In his mind, he is now the villain. His promise was to stop men and women like that, so how could he become that? He made a promise to his parents in death that it would be those individuals who know fear and true justice. But is there a breaking point? Can something so drastic happen that it completely changes a viewpoint on a man like Bruce Wayne? Even more so than seeing his own parents gunned down. In Batman vs Superman, we don't get a full reason why he kills. We don't know exactly when it started either. There are dialogue clues and scene hints that may give you a picture of why he has changed. One piece of dialogue that could hint to his life-taking transition is when Alfred passes him the newspaper about criminals being branded, and Bruce responds with,
"New rules. We're criminals, Alfred. We've always been criminals. Nothing's changed."
The branding of criminals is leading to their death in jail, which essentially Batman is sentencing them to. It's no surprise that from a certain point of view, Bruce does realize that he is a vigilante who, like I said, operates outside the law, but still maintains a lawful type of justice. But from another point of view, that could still make him a criminal, as long as he does not comply within the guidelines of true authority. A scene that could hint to his sudden change of taking lives is when he stares at the Robin suit with graffiti left behind from the Joker. clearly signifying that Joker did indeed kill one of the Robins. Even though his parents didn't affect him this way, someone else so close to him could definitely affect him differently. This Batman is much older than what we have usually seen on screen. It's no doubt he has been Batman for a long time, about 20 years they mention. I also have no doubt that Robin was not the only one to have lost their life in the war for Gotham, and he definitely was not the only loved one that Batman had to hold their lifeless body in his arms. Considering how gritty and dark Zack Snyder made this rendition of Batman, I would say it should be easy to fill in the blanks. He has clearly lost a lot of people, and yet the criminal underbelly of Gotham continues to rise. Where does that line get drawn, and when do you cross it? Batman must think to himself that his enemies have no problem killing his friends, but he knows that he can't kill any of his enemies, or else he becomes one of them. Let's not forget that not only does this Batman kill, but he is also an alcoholic. That's something else Bruce refrains from because he knows his addiction, and he knows that it's something else that is hard to break free from. So this Bruce Wayne has simply stopped caring. He has lost faith in many things, if not the entire world itself, and Alfred sees this. So many times in this film do you see Alfred questioning his methods and wishing Bruce lived a better life than this. And then adding in the God factor to all of Bruce's problems, and that God being Superman, the situation gets worse. And at this point, if Bruce has come to terms with killing humans, what would stop him from killing an alien? Especially since the only thing he's ever witnessed from this alien was the destruction of his Wayne Financial building and a huge chunk of Metropolis. And even though this Batman has decided to end lives, that doesn't mean he's okay with innocents losing them in the battle against General Zod. I also think it's good to remember, or if you don't already know, there have been many versions of Batman in comics that have killed before. When Batman was first created, he did kill criminals. The Flashpoint version of Batman, who happens to be Thomas Wayne, not only killed but used guns as well, a weapon that Bruce hates. Even in All-Star Batman he killed. And not to forget the Killing Joke where Batman chokes Joker to death. You could even argue moments in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, we witnessed Batman arguably kill criminals. What always needs to be considered as well is, are the killings intentional? There are so many times in movies and comic history where thugs or villains have died in a fight with Batman, and the question is, did he kill them himself, or was it a poor decision on the thug's part that led him or her to die? Focusing primarily on Batman vs Superman, most of the time they seem blatant. Batman goes out of his way to kill, or if they are in his way, he'll kill them anyway. Losing faith in the world is a big reason why he is who he is in Zack Snyder's version of Batman, but also losing faith in himself. After 20 years of what feels like non-stop failure, the only thing that works is putting these criminals 6 feet under. How many times have we seen Batman's villains escape prison or Arkham Asylum just to roam the streets of Gotham and exact the same type of crude villainy over and over again? It's time to fight fire with fire. He has seen his villains kill hundreds of people over the years, but he saw Superman have a war with another Kryptonian that killed thousands in one day. With the resources and skills that he has, how could he sit back and let Superman continue to fly freely around the world? From Bruce's perspective, Superman is the biggest threat the planet has ever faced.
You're gonna go to war. That son of a bitch brought the war to us 2 years ago. Jesus, Alfred, count the dead. Thousands of people. What's next? Millions. He has the power to wipe out the entire human race, and if we believe there's even a 1% chance that he is our enemy, we have to take it as an absolute certainty. And we have to destroy him.
I completely agree with that statement, if, and only if, I was in Bruce's shoes. As someone who doesn't know who he is and sees the exponential power he has, how could I trust Superman wouldn't do anything to hurt our world? Batman at the end realizes that Lex Luthor was behind the reason why they fought, and he let Luthor get in his head. Bruce just couldn't see it. So Batman gains redemption in the end. Superman may have died, but he's not the one who killed him. In fact, they even worked together before his death. By the end of the film, he seems to be starting fresh. He knows a threat is coming, and for once in his life, he needs to truly embrace working with other superpowered people. You also get that scene where Batman goes to brand Luthor, which would ultimately mean Lex would be killed in prison, but Batman doesn't brand him. Batman is clearly going to stop this even darker path he went on. So the question now switches from why did Batman kill to do you like that Batman killed? I have no issue with Batman killing, in a sense. I think that's the interesting thing with creative vision and having so many minds that want to tell stories. If Batman was a killer just to be a killer, then he wouldn't be Batman. Although this Batman was once a man with a promise to never kill that eventually ended up corrupted by the tremendously dark life he has had to live. Now, to be honest, if I was to ever create a Batman or some type of DC cinematic universe of my own, no, my Batman would not be a killer. In fact, the mental torment of killing, but knowing that the right thing is not to kill, would be a major aspect to my Bruce/Batman's character development, especially when it comes to characters like Joker. But the day that my Batman would kill is the day he knows he will never wear the cape and cowl again.
Men are still good. We fight, we kill, we betray one another. But we can rebuild. We can do better. We will. We have to.
I think that line speaks heavily on who Bruce Wayne is, who he was, and who he's trying to become. When Superman tells Batman to save Martha at the end of their fight in Batman vs. Superman, it's a scene that many people joke about and don't take very seriously because of how it's delivered. But the simple idea that they each share a mother named Martha doesn't only show Bruce that Superman has a mother, just as he did, but it shows that he is becoming the man that took his parents away from him as a young boy. The injustice that Batman has swore to destroy is who he is becoming, and he was inches away from taking a son from a mother. The humanity of Batman's arc and the story of Bruce's way of thinking translated him into someone who committed wrongs. Someone who is learning from those wrongs, and someone who will strive to find the one aspect that has been missing from his entire life. That aspect is faith. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and once again, make sure to leave some comments down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Also, make sure to hit that like button and to subscribe if you do like my content. I am constantly making stuff like this, so there will always be more on the way. Alright everyone, well, until next time, T.M.M signing out.